I mean, this is actually round 2 of me recording this video, and I've got a very sweaty t-shirt because I've been sat here before. I just didn't press record. It's one of the... If you make YouTube videos yourself, or you make videos of any kind, not pressing the record button is the easiest mistake to make. But yes, guys, welcome back to the George Benson Football Channel. Welcome to another video. We're going to be finally discussing the defence. Everyone goes on about, I even mentioned it myself, saying, well, with so many midfielders, we have abundance in midfield, and if you don't know what the word abundance means, it means we've got a flipping ton of them, okay? Strikers as well. We got Tammy, we got Olivier Giroud particularly extending. We're being linked with everyone on the wings, yet we've got some decent wingers as well. The defence. We're going to compare Chelsea's defence today to Liverpool. As much as we don't want to be using Liverpool as a prime example of a pretty damn good team, unfortunately, European champions, about to win the Prem, they're good, okay? We just have to get it out of our minds for a little while, but we're going to use Liverpool as a formula today. We're going to look at the Liverpool back line and try and see how we can compare it to Chelsea's, how we can build Chelsea's defence, see us challenge for the title next season or in years to come alongside Liverpool. We got Alisson in goal. He's a very, very good keeper. Huge saves made this season in the Champions League, huge saves in the Premier League, but I think one of the key attributes that Alisson has is a leadership role at the back. He's not frightened to come out and try and get to the feet of strikers. He's not frightened to be that commander at the back, and it's something that Liverpool have seen just go up a level. We've not got those stupid mistakes in final like Karius anymore, like against Real Madrid when Liverpool lost that final. They've got a world-class keeper now. Alisson's one of the best in the world, and in front of him, arguably right now, the best centre-back in world football, Virgil Van Dijk. Now, you got some people trying to say, he's as good as John Terry. Just hold fire until he's got a few cabinets in his ass with a few medals and trophies. Can we please just not put them in the same kind of bracket just yet? Virgil van Dijk is world class. I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise. He's brilliant. But when people start saying, oh, he's as good as John Terry, he's had as much... No, okay, he's not yet. Not yet. All things aside, I'm just getting triggered by little comments on social media. He's dominant in the air, brilliant with his feet as well. The assist for Mane, that goal against Bayern Munich. He's got everything, absolutely everything from defensive standpoints. I don't want to give him too many compliments. I feel like it would just be completely wrong of me to just say he's not as good as John Terry and then say he's a legend, because he's not quite a legend yet. He's on his way. So alongside Virgil van Dijk, you've got Joel Matip, who, alongside Van Dijk, you're going to see the point I'm trying to make here. Matip has been very good alongside Van Dijk, but the player that I think we could definitely mould a Chelsea variant into, Joe Gomez. Now, I made a video a few months back saying that Chelsea were linked with Joe Gomez. It was all a bit of nonsense, but Gomez, alongside Van Dijk, you can see so many little comparisons in their game. It's because Van Dijk is that leader. He's the player who's got all of the quality attributes across pretty much all of the things you need defensively. Joe Gomez, playing alongside him, there's no better role model right now for Gomez in centre-back alongside Virgil van Dijk. We're talking about Liverpool centre-half for probably the next 10 years. Even England are going to be looking at Joe Gomez for the next decade or so as well. So between the two of them, you've got that leader, you've got the experience in Van Dijk, and you've got someone who isn't necessarily a carbon copy, but someone who's working towards a Virgil van Dijk. So Liverpool are building a defence there for the future. We move to the fullbacks. We've got Robertson, who again, going forward, absolutely ridiculous. He's brilliant, he's good defensively as well, he's got a great shot on him, which is just an added bonus. You've also got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who England are going to be looking at Trent for the future at right back. We'll compare him to another geezer in the Chelsea team who will also be looking for that position soon. Trent, very, very good going forward. Not necessarily the best defensively, but when you've got so many good centre-halves alongside of him, it kind of makes up for it. We see that incredible cross for Divock Origi to win Liverpool the tie against Barcelona. He's got a footballing genius of a mind. Brilliant ball into the box, David Beckham-esque. Trent Alexander-Arnold will become a complete fullback in my opinion. He's almost there already. So that is a very, very good defence. No wonder they've conceded less goals than any other team in the Premier League this season. Now we look at Chelsea, we look at the shortfalls this season, we look at the reasons why we're not competing with Liverpool for the Premier League title. It's mathematically impossible already for Chelsea to win the league, which is a shame. You know, with 10 games or so to go, or 9 games, we want Chelsea to be in that conversation. We want us to still be in with a chance of winning the league. That's exactly where Roman Abramovich wants wants this club to be and where Chelsea deserve to be. So how do we use what we've already got, add in a couple of players to get to the kind of level and the kind of qualities in terms of attributes that Liverpool currently have in their defence? Well, Kepper, a player who's come up for question. A lot of people have said we need to sell him. He's not been good enough this season. His shot stopping isn't good enough. He concedes too many goals by having a weak wrist and he's not able to make the saves that we expect him to do. 72 odd million pounds, we expect more. I'm not going to disagree. We do expect more from Kepper. However, when you spend that much money on a goalkeeper, we've got to remember that for people like me, people like you, it's very easy for us to sit here and criticise a player's performance and just draw the line under it. We're lucky at Chelsea Football Club that we do have the ability to go out and spend big money on world-class players. So it could be possible that Chelsea get rid of Kepper. We don't see the potential that we did when we first bought him for the future. We don't see him as the leading goalkeeper. It's the same with Thibaut Courtois. We bought him in thinking he was the long-term replacement to Petr Cech. Didn't quite work out that way. He was always flirting with moves away. We ended up selling him. I've seen Chelsea, and I've seen you guys tell me in the comments that you'd like to see us sell Kepper and bring in the Ajax goalkeeper Onana. Now, if we bring this back to the comparison with Alisson, one of Alisson's biggest attributes is that leadership. It's the ability to make all different kinds of saves and be someone that you can rely on at the back if the defence is breached. My voice just cracked there. So do I see Onana as an improvement on Kepper? From the season's form that we have seen, Onana was one of the best performing goalkeepers in the Champions League. I saw him in that game between Chelsea and Ajax at Stamford Bridge, one of the best games of football I've ever witnessed live. It was 4-4, and when you look at a goalkeeper conceding 4 goals in a game, it's very rare that you come out of that game saying the goalkeeper had a very good performance. Onana had a very good game. Chelsea would have won that game if Onana didn't make some of the great saves that he did. Do I think Chelsea should give up on Kepper at this stage after, you know, he's had big moments. He's had the penalty shootout against Frankfurt. There's been moments where Kepper has shown what he's got. He's shown what he's capable of, and I personally back him. I don't think Chelsea should be looking to invest too much money in the market right now in replacing Kepper as a keeper. I do think Onana's had a better season, but I think Chelsea should focus on what they have with Kepper, which could potentially still be one of the Premier League's top goalkeepers. So I'm going to stick with Kepper. I'm going to give him the confidence of the board, give him the confidence of Frank Lampard, and look to invest in that leader centre half. Virgil Van Dijk's the man we gave all the credit to for Liverpool. Chelsea, we've been linked with this man countless times. When you look at his attributes, he's got absolutely everything. Kalidou Koulibaly, the man at Napoli, supposedly is looking for a move this summer. Chelsea are looking for a leader at the back. Who is there better right now in world football for us to call on than Kalidou Koulibaly? I think it's a no-brainer if he is available and he's ready to leave Napoli. If we're looking alongside potentially signing Koulibaly, if we use that as the player that we want to bring in to improve this defence to take Chelsea up a level, Koulibaly's that man. Who's his partner going to be? We've got 4 centre-backs right now in this conversation. We've got Zuma, we've got Rudiger, we've got Christensen, and Fikayo Tomori. Now, if we look at the early season form of Fikayo Tomori when he broke into the first team, he looked very, very good. He scored that incredible goal against Wolves, which, let's just stick it in. Come on, reaction. Chelsea, Tomori, goal of the season. How I flipping missed that. Hit the like button if you just miss the match vlogs. I missed the flipping match vlogs. Fikayo Tomori, left centre-back preferably. That man has got a huge future in football. Now we compare it to Joe Gomez. We're looking at a player who's got pretty much everything ready. He's got the pace. He pocketed Mo Salah even though we lost the game. Tomori's got all of the attributes to be able to look up to someone like Kalidou Koulibaly to mould himself into a Chelsea centre-half that we could see marshalling the back line for a decade. It's something that we've wanted. We've wanted these Lampard, Terry-esque players that can stay there for years to come. If Tomori's got a leader alongside him at centre-back, and if we back Kepper in goal, who's got the ability, we just need to see it more often, Chelsea could be looking again at a spine of a team that could be challenging for Premier League titles for many years to come. The other option is Andreas Christensen. The man has struggled with different kinds of stress, different kinds of fears in his footballing career, and there's been moments where we've seen his brilliance, we've seen his ability, but not on a consistent enough basis. Andreas Christensen has the same kind of potential as Tomori to be that player alongside a leader, Koulibaly, it's the man we're using for this video, who I think could really take Chelsea's defence up a level. That leaves us with both Rudiger and Zuma. Now, of all 4 of those centre-backs that we've mentioned in today's video, I think Rudiger, even though I love him, I think he's a top man, I think he's a good character, which is obviously something that is needed in this Chelsea team. It's very young, we need those older characters in the dressing room. Is Rudiger at a level the same as Koulibaly that can actually bring someone like Christensen and Tomori to a different level as a partner? I don't think Rudiger's that guy. I also don't think Zuma is that guy. As much as I love Kurt Zuma, I posted this on Instagram the other day, found this pic from the old archives in the PlayStation Schools Cup. Again, we've got to be brutal in this trying to build a Chelsea team that can win the league. I don't want to see us next season with 9 games to go, not even able to mathematically win the league. I don't want to see that. We need to be looking up. Chelsea are a team with ambitions to win everything. We've got to get back to those kind of signings. I don't think Zuma is that player. I think Zuma with a Koulibaly could be brilliant. Rudiger with a Koulibaly could be brilliant. But in terms of the future of Chelsea Football Club, I think there's a lot more likely a chance, if that's even English that makes sense, I don't know if it does, that it's Christensen or Tomori to be nurtured up alongside a leader in centre-back. Let's move on to the right-back position. I think this is the one where Chelsea are very lucky. Azpilicueta has been an absolutely brilliant servant to Chelsea Football Club ever since we bought him. Right now, the baton is being firmly handed over to Reece James. We've seen him break into the first team this season. This picture's been going around social media recently, which is probably my favourite image of the season, even though we didn't win that game, which is kind of weird, but it was just a monumental moment. And I think that, so many crosses into the box. Reece James could be near like Kevin De Bruyne assist level if we could just flip and finish our dinner in the box this season. Some of the balls that Reece James puts in the box, again, comparing it to Trent Alexander-Arnold, such a great deliverer of the ball from the wings. Reece James, we know, is going to have a huge future at Chelsea. He's signed a new contract. We know the baton's being handed over to him. Reece James take over as Chelsea's right back for the next decade. That one, I think, is fine. It's the left back position that everybody is questioning right now. We know that Alonso's good and he's playing in a back 5. We've got Emerson as well, who I actually found these stats from a company on Twitter called DribLab, comparing Emerson to Alphonso Davies as 2 of the best performing left backs in Europe so far this season. Now, obviously with Emerson, we're talking about limited data. We're talking like, I think, less than 1,300 minutes this season of game time. So the stats aren't quite the same as Davies, who's played over 2,000 minutes for Bayern Munich. One thing that Liverpool do so well that Chelsea need to be looking to mould upon is the balls into the box from the fullbacks to create chances for the strikers and the players coming in from the wing and midfield. Now, Emerson, compared to Alphonso Davies, isn't completing the same kind of percentage of crossing. We've got like 37% for Davies, 22% for Emerson. Now, if we think about bringing in someone of just that little bit extra quality who can run forward at pace, get back, put the top balls into the box, I think Chelsea are going to be needing to spend some money on a left back. Now, with Marcos Alonso, we know he's not the fastest tool in the toolbox. He's very good at a dead ball. He's very good at arriving, and if there's anyone who you want it to fall on the left foot, in or outside the box, you want Alonso to be hitting it. He's brilliant at shooting, but it's the defensive side of things, which is what this video is all about, that Marcos Alonso isn't necessarily the best at. Now, Robertson's a very good defender. I think Chelsea need to be looking at a left back who's not only very good at a standing tackle, a sliding tackle, but we need to keep going forward more. We need to use the likes of Reece James and whoever's at left back to start creating more chances to allow the wingers, like if Mason Mount's on the left or Pulisic's on the left, they can cut into the middle to create more options outside the box or just coming into the box behind Tammy. Whoever's on the right wing can do the same, because you know that Reece James is going to overlap and put in a wicked cross to the box. So I think looking at this and what we've got on the screen now, it's the left back and a centre back who could partner one of the youngsters who Chelsea need to be investing in this summer. And I think if we do this, and it's only going to take 2 investments. I know that's quite a lot. I'm putting my faith in Kepper here. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with that. Priority needs to be the left back and a centre-back leader. Let me know what your thoughts on that are in the comments down below. We look at this Liverpool team, as much as it pains me to sit here in my sweaty flipping t-shirt, giving them all of this credit, they are flipping good. And I think Chelsea need to be striving for those kind of levels. And I bring it back to the conversation we had in the previous video where we talk about a tough footballing economic climate. Chelsea are one of the clubs who are actually in a much better position than many others, if not any other, come this summer. So what we do invest in needs to be something that is going to immediately elevate this team from what's been a very good season, I'd say a good season, into a very good season for the next few seasons to come. This is a huge summer for Chelsea Football Club to invest to be able to create that dynasty with Frank Lampard in charge that we've dreamed of for so many years. The manager merry-go-round has been, it's been a fast roller coaster for Chelsea fans to be on, for the footballing world, for all the newspapers who just love talking about Chelsea sacking yet another geezer. Frankie Lampard is the manager. He's our all-time leading goal scorer, and I think that these two players that we've got on the screen right now could be the signings that can elevate that defence to be able to make us much stronger next season. We know that we've got the abilities going forward. It could be a big one for Chelsea. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of what we've discussed in today's video. If there's any other options that you think about in terms of those leaders in the centre-back position, let me know in the comments down below. I know I'm rambling on a little bit here. If you've still made it to the end of this video, hit the like button, you know, that big thumbs up. It's an easy thing to do, lets me know you've enjoyed the content, and subscribe. I hate to point because it's rude. That's the way I was brought up anyway. I was told pointing at people's rude, but you're still here. You got nothing else to do with your flipping time. Just let me point at you. Subscribe to the George Benson football channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss a video, and hit the bell notifications if you want a little ping to come up on your cellular device whenever I do upload. It's 12:28 in the afternoon, so I'm going to go and get myself some lunch. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.